Hello, everybody. I'm Chaitra. I'm from Renderpub. And today we're going to have a live demo of our tool. And you guys will have access to it by tonight, I promise. Sorry about the goof up. And we can just start. So Renderpub basically has two offerings. So it's a quick context. One is a desktop application, which it's for real-time rendering, and the USP of this application is that there's a one-click export. You can export out your entire 3D model onto the web as opposed to just images and videos. And when you click export here, the 3D model goes and sits on the web, which is Renderpub Spaces. So you can give your clients and other stakeholders like a walkthrough. They can practically just walk through the space and get a feel for it. It's a very nice emphatic feeling that you get, when you're walking around in a 3D space. And what's Metaverse about it? You can mint this space as an NFT and start building the Metaverse. It's really as simple as that. So we've kept the UI very, very familiar, so you guys can just focus on your design, and we take care of the optimization part, uploading it onto the web, and all sorts of technical hoops that your model has to jump through. We take care of it and keep it really, really simple for you. So I suppose we can start now. You guys can see my screen? Oh, okay. All right. So here I go. I'm just opening the application, and we're doing this from the start. This is one of the renders. It's loading. So this is a beta version. So if it's a little rough around the edges, we seek forgiveness from you all. You all have to help us better the product. So active participation is, highly encouraged, and we'll be very, very grateful for any inputs that you give us. Criticism also will help us grow. So let's just wait for it to start. Okay, there we go. I'm going to start with a default scene. So there's a few templates here which you can start with and get a feel for the projects. So, oh, okay, that was scary. Okay, I'm going to import a model now. So this is the model. As you can see, this is what you'd get out of your 3ds Max or a SketchUp. So it's just a simple plain model. I've only taken one room for now because this is just to show you guys how you would go about working. So what I like to do as soon as I import a model, so here's a tip for you. I want to make sure that the scaling is right. Otherwise, so the ceiling height, let's say it's about 10 feet, right? So this is a meter cube, which is about 3.3 feet. So yes, it seems about right because it's 1/3. And I'm going to set the DLSS setting to performance. What happens with ultra performance is you get better visuals, but it's a little heavy to work with. And so let's start with the lighting. So let's go to the sky system and go to sun. So let's just increase this to 6. So 6 is, sort of the best. Oh, okay. So which one? I've been getting audio saying recording has started, recording has stopped.
No, ma'am. It's fine. You can just carry on.
Okay, all right. It's just a little startling. So 6 is generally, the best number to start with, because then you can go up or down depending, after we set up the scene, depending on how much light we need. So generally the range would be between 3 to 8. And I'm going to change the time of day here to, so as you can see, it's, 2400, right? So it's 0 to 24 hours. So I'm just going to set it up for like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I want to change the sun angle to give a nice glow on the wall, right? So if you can see here, and yeah, so let's just, oh, okay. So I can't see the flow, so I'm just going to pull it up. And generally, it's a good idea to set your model location to 000, because say in 3ds Max, right, or in your SketchUp file or in your SketchUp application, you have set up a lot of props, right, within that 3D modeling application, and you export them as individual meshes. What happens then? They get scattered around. And so if you go to each mesh and type in 000, it all, rearranges itself. So that's one thing that we should do. That's good practice. Where were we? So if you guys have any questions, you can just leave in the chat box, and Rohan will be answering it. So I like how the sun's falling here, and I also like the intensity. And let's play with sun inclination. So here, as you can see, you can make all of this. All of this is for aesthetics, basically. Yeah, I like how that looks. And if you want finer control, if you want the dusky or dawn look, you can come and play with it here. So this can't be an exhaustive, demo, because there's too many things to show you. So I'm just going to stick to setting this scene, and whatever settings come along the way is what I'll be showcasing today. And let's go to global illumination, the GI intensity, and we can set that to, yeah, I think this looks good. About 4, I think. Generally, the range would be 2 to 6. That's when they look very realistic. If you go beyond 6 or under 2, it starts looking overexposed or underexposed, and it won't be as realistic. So these are the best numbers too. And I'm just taking the average, which is 4. Okay, so I think the lighting is all right. I can see enough to set up my scene. So let's start setting it up. First, I get a sense of the room and sort of, where to place what. So this is a nook here. So this is a floor plan of an actual apartment, a living room, basically. So when there's a nook like this, it's generally for the office space. And this is, I'm going to place a TV here because this might be too much glare for the TV. And I'll place my sofa here, and this wall will figure it out. So library has a lot of props, as you can see. Let me just open it. But so tomorrow's version will have all proper props, but right now, I might have issues. So I'm just going to import it. Don't worry, you have access to all of these props. Oh, this is really small. So here's the gizmo. You sort of turn around. Okay. Okay, this is really small, so I'm going to scale it up. This looks all right. So this has no materials, don't worry about it. Generally, when you're placing props, we could always play around with the materials and, make changes. So just look at the model, see if you like it, and just start pulling it in. Again, I'd like to make sure that the scale is right. So tops, right? Any tabletop is generally about 30 inches, which is like 3/4 of a meter cube. So you guys can really use more accurate measurements. This is just for a demo, so I'm just going to wing it a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. And let's pull in a sofa. I'll go to sofas category in objects. And all of them look too big. Since this is an apartment living room, it's a smallish. So if you press G, right, it snaps to ground. So I'll show you, right? And I press G now, it snaps to ground. So that's a really useful tool. I think this looks right. Yeah, I think it looks right. Yeah. Oh, okay. This looks rather small, so I'm going to scale it up. Yeah, looks all right. Don't worry about the material. We'll come back to it. Okay, so I don't like the material, so we can change it up. So I'll show you our material library. We have plenty of materials, but of course, if you need any other material, you can use websites like Polyhaven or Quixel, and it's really an exhaustive list of materials you can find there. So, okay, I like this, but I'm just going to show you how to create a material. So for the purpose of, showing you guys, I'm just going to start creating a new one. But yeah, we can get to it a little bit later. And yeah, okay. So you have access to all of these textures also. So as you can see, albedo goes into here, and normal map goes here. Okay, let me show you here so you can see, right? I'm just dragging and dropping them. So this is the roughness map, and you get all of this, all of these maps right there. So you don't have to generate them. And right, so there we go. I'll say so far a little. Save.
Preferences and show control. Someone's asking, right?
I'm sorry, what?
Go to file preferences and show controls. Edit. And
Okay.
system
Okay, so these are all the keyboard shortcuts. You can find them here. Yeah. Just click on it, drag and drop. Oh, very nice. I really like it. So, oh, okay. Can you guys not hear me well? I like the way it looks, but we can come back around for, finer details. And the window, yeah, so as you can see, it's not enough. So I'm going to pull in a light. So let me pull a rectangular light. Rectangular light, yeah. An area light for my window. Okay, so here don't change the object. So as you can see, it doesn't matter because this is a light. Let's go to light and change source width and source height here. So here, if you can see, right, so if I say 100, that increases, right? So make all the changes in the light part of the UI. Louder than this? Okay. I've been instructed to speak louder. This looks good, yeah. And source height, I think I need a little bit more height here. Guys, please let me know if you want me to go slower or speak louder or anything. I'd be happy to do that for you. Yeah, I think we've got it right. Oh, look, the room already looks so much brighter, right? So here, let's make this 0 because we want a nice spread, a 180 spread. And the intensity seems too much. So or too little. Let's figure it out. And if you can see here, the temperature, right? So it can range from 4,000, yeah, it can range, it can be anything really, but I'm making it 400. So for a warmer lighting, it's about 4,000, and for a natural daylight setting, it is 6,500, which is what, yeah, it's all in Kelvin. I'm going for a 6,500 temperature. Okay, so it's a nice daylight color. And the intensity, let me try. 10 is good. So generally the intensity range would be 8 to 12 for a smallish room. Don't go beyond that. Again, it's going to look overexposed, which is not a nice look at all. And definitely don't go beyond 20 for anything. And yeah, I think the room is well lit up. Let's start texturing our walls a little bit. Our walls, I'm going to go very simple, just plaster. Oh, it's too great, but never mind. We can always go back and change the. So the way this thing is modeled, there's a lot of patches. So excuse me while I go on texturing all of these things. But more often than not, this is what you guys will have. So it's a realistic demo, I suppose. This is too gray for my liking. I was actually, let me pull it up. So there's a reference image for you all. So this is what I'm going for. Yeah, a sort of this look, not exactly this, but it's always best to work with reference images. So, you don't have to think about every little detail and every little element that you're going to put in the scene. And okay, so it looks gray. So I'm going to reset this all. So because as you can see, some things here are grayish. going to reset albedo for all of these things. So albedo basically means, the picture. So here, if you see, I'm just going to show you all. See, this is the albedo, what it look like. So the normal is, all the bumps, and roughness is, what roughness is. And specularity and metallic and all of these things you can play around with. So I'm just going to set that to, I'm just going to start resetting albedo so it looks white. Ah, much better. It's looking white already. As you can see, there was a grayish tint, right? So we've removed that. Yeah, I like it. So let's do the floor. Yeah. So floor, I'm going to go for wood. So you guys can't see my reference image because I pulled it off the screen, but you have it in the drive link that we sent you. So you can just open it up for reference if you want. Generally, okay. So you see the patterns are like this, the floorboard pattern. So I'd like to rotate it 90 degrees, much better. This looks too big for me, so I'm going to scale it. Oh, yeah, it looks good. I don't quite like the color. It is too yellow for me. I'm going to change that up a little bit. So I have a hex code here that I, got off the internet. So you can look up wood colors and things like that, and you get hex codes. So that would be a very good starting point for you to, otherwise you'll have to do a lot of tinkering. It wastes a lot of time. So just do this. Too red for me. So I can desaturate it to remove some of the colors, right? Press escape a little more maybe. Don't worry if it looks too gray. We have other controls where you can make it look a little better and brighter. See, there we go. Oh, yeah. Too bright. Ah, see, like it. And let's see how it's reflecting, right? Okay, you see it's too shiny. Floors are generally not like that. Get a close-up reference image and start working, towards it. So I am going to change the specularity to 0.6. That's a good starting point, and start playing with the roughness. Okay. No. Okay. We're in the vicinity now. This looks good. This looks good. Okay, it's shaping up already. Now, let's apply some textures here. Again, I'm going to go with wood for this TV unit. Let's look around. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's too brown. You see the wood here? I want this to look somewhat similar, right? Because otherwise the aesthetics won't look good. Again, like I told you, a good starting point would be to get some hex code off of internet, depending on what wood color you want, and then playing around. So you have very little tweaking to do. So again, I'm going to desaturate it. Basically the same things. Once you know it, you know it. I'm going to play with the brightness. Yeah, that looks good. And for reflection, always place yourself in a way where, you know, some light is bouncing off of it and you have a better gauge at what the value should be. So specularity always set to 0.6, and it's too rough. I would like for it to bounce off some light. No, too shiny. Getting closer. Yes. Like that. And as you can see, you know, there's grains here, right? I feel like it should have more bumps. So let's play with normals. That's what will give you that, you know, realistic dents and bumps and all of those things. So let's start with not too much. Yeah. Let's go. I think see, it looks good. And the rest of these things. Yeah, I think this would go well with the aesthetics. Again, too brown for my liking. So how I'm choosing all of these materials is, you know, I'm looking at the patterns here, right? So as long as I like this pattern, I'm going to pull it in, and then the visuals of it, I can tweak it. The material, I can always tweak it. So the pattern is what I'm looking at here to make a choice. See, it looks too yellow, but I like the pattern. So let me go here. The same thing what we've been doing for everything. I'll start off with the wood color. Desaturated, so you know some of the color goes off. It's too yellow. The warm undertones or the cool undertones, when you don't want too much of it, you desaturate it. I'm just using the same values as I did for the other wood materials. I'm just going to play with the brightness to see if that's what I like. Always keep a close eye on your reference image, so you know it ends up looking. See, there we go. It's too specular. I mean, it's too shiny, so I'm going to change a little bit more. I think that's all right. Yeah, that looks good. And this, I'm just going to leave it white, but you know, all of those sheets, right? They look a little shinier than this, the ones that they paste on plywoods. So I'm going to leave this white, but I'm going to make a few changes to it to make it look more realistic. Also, nothing in the world is ever pure white or pure black, so you have to give it some sort of, you know, tint to make it look realistic. Otherwise, it's too harsh on the eyes, and it just ends up looking very fake. And roughness, we want to make this shinier, right? So we want more light reflecting off of it. So I'm going to place myself at a nice angle. Like it. Okay, 1 minute. Let me put the mic. Oh, I can't put the mic a little bit closer. Okay. See, generally when you have PV units like this, they have cove lighting underneath. So we can do that. Let's pull in area lights. Oops, not that. So what changed? Yeah. 270. Again, no point in changing the scale of the object when it's a light. Go to light, and then this is where you want to play around. So this is a thin strip, right? So I'm just going to keep height very thin, and let's see. Be a little bit bigger. We need it to be a little bigger, so I went ahead and changed the source width and place it properly. Okay. So, as you can see, the light seems too harsh. It's too white because interior lightings are generally warmer and it gives a very nice aesthetic. So I am going to change the temperature to about 4000 Kelvin. Look, there's a nice warm white. And the intensity seems too much. I'm going to read, yeah, I like it. Once again, it's all to do with aesthetics. The tool is really simple to use. It's what, the aesthetics are you going for, that you're going for, and setting the light to that aesthetic. And I can just copy, I can hold Alt and I'll just pull in. Change the source height to again 5 because we want this to be a very thin strip. Underneath this, let's see. I'm going to change the intensity. It's much better. And source width, going to just much 180, I suppose. Yeah, that seems right. Again, I want to change the color to a nice warm interior lighting. It all the way back. I'm going to reduce the intensity a little bit further. I think 2 is enough. That was also a little too harsh. And 1 for the top. So I just held Alt and pulled it up. So that will duplicate it. For this, I might need the intensity to be a little bit higher. I'm going to flip it so it's facing upwards. Yeah, there you go. I made a little mistake. I was trying to scale in object. Barn door length, always keep it at 0 so you get a nice. I think it's looking good already. So let's pull in, I think that's enough for this. And yeah, let's move on to sofa. I like how this looks, but maybe we can make a few changes. So I feel like it's too specular. So let's keep that to my favorite number, 0.6, and roughness we need to play around with. It's too shiny. Yeah. You can always come back and change the values, but I think this looks good. And the legs, right? So, okay, look at that. It doesn't look metallic at all. So I am going to go here, crank up the metallic. Okay, it's still not reflective. So I need to reduce the roughness. So let's go from 0.1. Okay, that looks all right. And okay, it's not shiny enough for me, so I'm going to reduce it a little bit further. Okay, that's all right. That's enough. And yeah, I think this is starting to look good. So let's go over to this wall. So nothing's happening here. It's feeling a little left out. Let's add some nice paneling here. That should look good. So going back to wood, that's in our material library. Some paneling sort of material I'm looking for. Okay, once again, we meet our old friend wood, so you guys know what to do with it. I'm going to albedo color. Again, desaturate it. 0.6, I think, was our value. Increase the brightness to, okay. Take a look. Okay, this looks good already. So there needs to be a desk there. I keep calling it desk nook, but there's no desk. So I'm just going to pull in a basic cube like this and create a desk out of it. this needs to go down a little bit more. Okay, I think 0.02 is good. Yeah, so it's a meter cube. And I'm just molding it as needed here. Yeah, I think that is okay. Let's reduce the, no, sorry, I changed the wrong one. Should do it. Yeah, there we go. And I'd like to add a panel up here. So I'm just going to hit Alt and drag. Hit Alt. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah, there we go. Hmm. 290 should do it. No, a little bit more. 291. Okay. Now that we have a panel over there, let's add material. We're going to go back to the same wood. So it all looks put together. Same things. Change the wood color, desaturate it to remove the yellowness of it, and increase the brightness too. Since we've done this before, I'm just going to keep it at 2.5. If it looks bad later, we can always come back and change it. Okay, there we go. It looks better already. Let's change the specularity. And specularity, it's always best to start with 0.6. And the roughness looks about all right for now. So let's just leave it at that. It's a little too shiny. I see a little bit of shine here. So I'm going to change roughness to a little bit more. 2, 3, 6. Yeah. I'm just going to do the same thing over here. Copied the same values basically. Oh, this isn't okay. I'll just put this same wood over here. I think it was this one. There were, I pressed Alt too many times, so there's several duplicates, and that's why it didn't apply the material. So I'm just deleting a few of them and going back and applying it. Oh, there's one more. There we go, finally. Okay. So let's just look at the values here. I think, yeah, I think it's pretty much the same for this also.
Keep checking the chat.
Yeah.
Someone wants to see switching off lighting indicators. So you will do it.
Oh, sorry guys, I haven't been keeping a tab on the chats here because I'm all engrossed in working, but Yeah, Rohan's telling me something needs to be done. Yeah, what is it?
View helper geometry is lighting off ಮಾಡಿ on.
Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Turning off the lights, right?
Yeah.
Just click on the lights.
Okay, you want me to switch off the helper geometry? Yeah.
Oh, that's bright needs to be turned off, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
View.
Yeah.
Let's
Light helpers. So
Yeah.
there you go. I think it's a little overexposed. We'll come back to it later. First, let's set up the scene and then do the finer details later. So I'm going to keep the sprites on for now because I might have to come back and work with them. But feel free to ask me to do stuff so I can show you how it works. Can we hide the lighting object in the window, or does it? Okay. It goes away. I think that's what we were addressing now. Rohan, just ask me to stop, and if there's anything, I can't keep tab on chats. Cool. Now I think we are done with this desk nook. Let's look around. Okay, this is already shaping up very well. All right, there's an empty wall here and we've got to pretty it up. I think I'm going for basic looks here. So I'm just going to add a console table, go to tables category, and this, quite a few here. I'm just going to pick a very simple one. I don't want to do anything fancy here. Yeah, so this already, sort of matches the aesthetic. Ooh, that's quite big. Okay. I think it's a little too wide, so I'm going to scale it. If you press lock, right? If you press this lock, it scales equally on all axes, but I don't want to, the other dimensions look all right to me. I just want to decrease the X so it's a little slimmer because it's a console table. This can be used as a dining table or whatever. Okay, just this looks empty, so maybe I'll put in a chair and a plant or something over there. Let's just place this for now. I think this looks all right, but I don't quite like the wood here. I'm going to change the material, go back to wood, and I'll choose something without, there should be grains, but not a lot of patterns. So yeah, I think this does not have, that's too dark. Don't worry, we will. Change the brightness, maybe. See, it looks much better. Sometimes just, pull back and see how it's all tying in together. That really helps just to, go back and see what it looks like.
Speak slowly.
Okay, I've got to speak louder. So I see too many grains, so I'm just going to scale the material itself. So you see, I'll show you. See, this was one, and you see how it all just looks weird. So I'll just play around with scaling and how the grains look much more natural, right? Okay, I'm going to leave it at that, and let's see how it's reflecting light and change the roughness. Angle yourself. properly so you can see light bouncing off of it. And I think it's a little too rough, so I'm going to make it a little shinier. Yeah, like polished wood. Yeah, I think I like that. Just leave that be. So this still looks empty here, right? So I'm going to pull in a chair. Just an assortment of chairs here. I'm just going to pick something in the first row. Or even this is too dark for me. Don't worry though, we'll change the material. Okay. So there's several websites where you can, download nice patterns from. So I'm just going to make this chair a nice, fabricy patterned chair. So I'll show you how to do that. This looks quite nice as it is, but just to show you guys, I'm going to do that. So materials, fabric, just put any fabric here, right? Don't worry. Let's go to, it looks too dark, but we're not going to keep this. Albedo is this blue denim sort of a thing. And I'm going to pull in some pattern here. I've just downloaded some, right? So I'll just show it to you. I've just downloaded some patterns. Okay. Yes. You see how it looks better already? And it looks good, but I think I'm going to change the scale of the material here to make it look a little better. Yeah, that's better. Again, I think I like it. So this wall still looks empty, right? We've got to put a portrait or something. So let's go to decor. Again, pull in, some portrait over here. Oh, it's facing the other way. So if it looks transparent, it just means there's no normals there. So that's why you can't see it. So you just go around it and click. See, now it looks proper. Let's place it on the wall first and then. Yeah, just pulled it back up. So if the B image goes off, that means I've pushed it too far into the wall. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to position myself here so I can see straight and see where I'm placing it. Okay, I like the frame and everything, but I don't really like the B image. So I'm going to pull in something.
They want to see the measure tool.
They want to see the measure tool? Okay.
Second tool.
So see if I, oh, what do I do? Okay, as you see, when I'm moving the mouse, it's measuring. So I don't think it's centimeters. Maybe, it's a bug. We'll go back and fix it. But you see the units are changing, right? So forget about centimeters. So maybe it's 9 feet. But that's how it works. So the section cube and all of those things to show your clients, the light play and all of those things. But I don't know how much time I have left. We started the meeting also quite late. So I'm just trying to rush along. Yeah. So here the glass isn't really reflecting at all. That won't do. We'll go and change the glass over here. So you see it's the default material. So if you click on glass, that will be our master material, glass, and then opacity, I'm going to reduce it. So if the opacity is, at 1, it sort of it looks like a chrome. So maybe you'd use that for mirror and things like that. And I've reduced the opacity. I like this. And now I am going to reduce the roughness also. So, it starts reflecting more light. I think it's reflecting too much. Yeah, I think, I think that's enough. And I want to change the B over here. So I go to materials and I select this. And once again, it's just, oh, I think I must have closed it. Let me just open that folder again. How did it close? Okay. Sorry, guys, I lost the path there. Okay. Okay, I'll show you. So it's just a matter of dragging and dropping it here. See, there we go. It changed already. I think it's a little too pinkish, so I am going to yeah, I think I like this better. Yeah. We can move on, I think. So I'm going to place a few stuff on the table here, on the console table. Maybe a flower pot or something. Just browsing through the library. Yeah, let me place this. Looks a little too big. It looks a little too big, so I'm in material, so I'm going to mesh because I don't want to scale the material, just the mesh. Yeah, I think that looks all right. And I'm going to objects, indoor plants, and I'll probably bring in some. This looks nice. Too big. So I'm going to lock the scaling here because I want it to scale down uniformly. Place it on top of it. Along the way, if you want to see any features, just keep letting us know. I'd be happy to show it for you. And maybe a portrait of some sort, right? A picture frame. Okay. It's looking the other way, so let me just Make it look at us. Okay. Oh, and maybe I'll just place this also. I don't like that it's white. I'm just going to change the albedo. Back. Go to material, go to albedo. So it's white, right? So I'm just going to pull this down and make it look charcoal black, I think. Yeah, that's good. If I want, I'll just go on and place this. No, I think that's too much. We'll just leave it be. Maybe add a plant here. Again, all our pots are in decor. Let me see what I like. Yeah, this is all right, but it's scaled. So we need to scale it up. Scale it up uniformly. Yeah, I think that's good. Again, I'm going to pull in some sort of a bamboo. Let me see how it looks. Yeah, not bad. I'm just going to leave it there. Does it look like it's in the pot? Yeah, looks like it's in the pot. Cool. I think we're done with this wall. We can move over to this desk nook and show it some love. Let me go to lamps, right? This looks a little shady. So I'm just going to lamps here. Pull in a ceiling light. Whoa, that's really big. Scale it down uniformly. So make sure if you want to scale it down uniformly, you're pressing on the lock here. Otherwise, it'll do whatever it wants to. I think that's enough. Let me go make sure. Okay, it's right on the ceiling. Let me position myself so it's easier to do it. Just copying and pasting another one. Yeah, I think that looks good. So let's pull in spotlights, right? So these are all spotlights. So I'm going to spotlights, pick anyone that you like. I'm just going to pick this one. It's spreading too much. So first of all, I can't see the light. So I'm just going to increase the intensity by a little bit. How does 10 look? Yeah, it looks good. And it's spreading too much. So I'm going to change the inner cone angle and maybe, yeah, I think this looks good. I'm going to keep it at 30 and the outer cone angle also. Just move around, see what you like. Yeah, I think 60 looks good. And source radius, to reduce it a little bit. Let's see if we can see the spotlight. Yeah, I think we can see it. I'm only going to do this for one, so I can just like copy the other one and move it. I think I need to push it closer to the panel, right? So I can see that nice glow on the panel. I like it. Yeah, that's enough. If you want, I could just reduce the intensity a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, I like it. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it looks nice now. And let's pull in some objects here. It looks quite empty. Let me go to objects, decor, no, electronics. So maybe I'll put, since it's an office nook, let me put a monitor or something there. Oh, it's a TV. Never mind. It'll be our makeshift monitor. I won't tell if you don't. So reduce it. That seems about right. A little bit smaller, maybe. Oops. Yeah, I think I'm okay with placing it there. Let's place some more stuff here. Going to decor. Like this. It's too big. As you can see, most of the things that I'm doing here are just design related, right? Because the tool's giving me no trouble. Maybe a little bit bigger. It's not sat on the desk. Okay. Okay.
G was snapping, Control was snapping.
I have. So I'm going to pull in a plant or something. Yeah, I suppose this will do. Oh, this is also not scaled properly. I will reduce the scaling, uniform scaling, go down. Yeah, I think this is about right. I don't want to keep it at odd numbers. So, oh, the leaves are going through the wall, so I'm just going to pull them both out a little bit. And yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Let's place a few books. And pretend whoever lives here loves reading. Objects, I think they're in stationery. So just click, drag and drop, drag and drop. Let's make them seem like real intellectuals. Put a lot of books. Okay, that's quite enough. This is just a demo. I shouldn't get carried away. Okay, this is done. We need a chair here, something to sit on while you work. And again, browse through the categories. You do what you want to, right? I'm just going to, wait, okay, it's a very small chair. I am going to scale it up, uniform scaling. That looks about all right. I do.
Snap.
G. So I press G and it snapped to the ground here. I'm just going to push it a little bit further. Yeah, I think that's enough. Oh no, it still looks a little empty. Let's just pull in something. Let's go to decor and pull in. This looks nice. Empty. hope it's snapped to the wall. Let's go closer and take a look. No, it's not. So it'll leave a weird shadow if you don't snap it properly. Yeah, I think there we go. Let's center it. That's enough, I think. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this window looks empty. Let's pull in curtains because I see curtains right here. Okay, these are a little too wide, so I won't do uniform scaling because I like the length. Because tall curtains makes your room look more voluminous. It increases the vertical height, so that's a good tip. So don't put your curtain rods here right above the window. Try to take it all the way up to the ceiling. Yeah, I like that. So Alt click pull, right? That's easy to duplicate. And I don't like this fabric. It looks a little too thick. So I'm just going to go here, see what the material is. It's baked texture, so I'm going to make it fabric. Escape. Oh, it already looks so much better, right? And let's make this, because when you see curtains and there's light passing through it, it sort of has a glow, which is called subsurface. So we'll get to it. I'll show you how to do it. So this is a little too dark. I'm going to and first color is what lets that see, if you see, let me show you. See, it lets that light in over here, so this part has a nice glow, whereas this that's stuck against the wall doesn't. So I'm just going to keep it even lighter. Okay, and subsurface amount, right? I can move it around, and you see, I'm just going to keep it at this value. Yeah, I like it. I like how this looks. So I'm just going to do the same things over here. Oh, what?
You can fix the same material.
I'm going to do the same thing here. Make it fabric. First color, if it's too dark, it won't let as much light in. So I'm going to somewhere. Okay, I like the way it looks. Okay. This doesn't look nice, right? So I'm just going to go back to our old friend, basic cube, and make it do wonders for me. I think I moved the table. What did I do? Let's bring this back. Inadvertently, I moved it. I think that looks good. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay, so let's scale it, right, to make that sort of panel that they use to cover up all the screen rods, all the ugly screen rods and things like that. Yeah, let's scale it. So I'm not pressing the lock, as you can see, because I don't want it to be uniform scaling. I want to reduce the Z to, yeah, this looks about right, that much. This goes on. That's enough for us because I just want it to be sort of a plate that covers up. Enough? No, I think we need to make it a little bit bigger, right? Not enough. Little bit bigger. Oops, too big. Let's keep it at 3. If that's enough. Let's go over here. Is that enough? Oh, just a little bit more. I think that's good enough. And maybe a small rectangular cube. Alt and drag, that will duplicate. So let's rotate it. Too big, right? Scale it first. That looks right. Place it at the edge. Go back around, pull it to the wall. Reduce the X a little bit more. Okay, I think that looks all right. Let's supply the same wood material. Let's not worry too much about it. You guys know your aesthetics, so I'm not going to bother you with it. Sign it. Okay, I'm not going to bother making things too perfect. We know what to do with this wood, right? Change the albedo material, desaturate it so it doesn't look as yellow. Oh, okay. Increase the brightness so it, you know, matches the aesthetics of other wood. Okay, this looks all right. And let's put an AC in there. Let's go to electronics, the first one. Okay. Oh, there's no, okay. Let's pull in a window frame, right? So I think let's pull in a window frame. Don't worry about the materials. We will set it right. This looks basically like a French window. Let's just scale it up first. Maybe not uniform scaling, right? Okay. Yeah, that looks all right. And I think 5, no, a little bit more. 1.7. Okay, perfect. Let's place it properly on the wall, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and change the materials. I'm not able to tell much, you know. because it's all black. So go to material. I'm just going to, I'll keep it white. I'll keep the frame white. So I'm just going to do reset all, reset all. What else is there? Oh, this is probably glass. So I'm going to click here, change it to glass. Oh, that's nice. Oh no, I think I clicked this. This one, keep it baked. Reset all. So click on the glass element here. This I'll switch over to glass. Okay. But we need to change some opacity and other things. I don't like the way it looks right now. So let's go to opacity, reduce, reduce, reduce. Always keep a reference image so you know the shine and everything, because you know when you're looking at so many elements it becomes very difficult to gauge what it's supposed to look like. So if you have a reference image here, you can just match it. Reduce the roughness also, maybe, to make it a little bit shinier, not that much. Okay, done. Yeah, I think that looks good. Let me just set it right. Okay, that's looking good. Let's pull in a door here. I'm going to pull in a door with a glass so we can, let in more light. I think we might have to scale it a little bit. Not too much though. I think just, fill out that gap. Yeah, I think that's good enough. It's too dark again, I'm going to change the material a little bit, change it to default so I have better controls over the door, and maybe change this a little bit. Desaturate it so, I don't have as much color. Let me see what that looks like. And increase the brightness. That should help us with the darkness. That looks like, I think, too bright. I'll try 5.5. Okay, yeah, I think that looks good. So since there's glass here, I am going to pull in an area light. So again, since this is a light, I'm not going to scale it in the object category. I'm going to go and change my source width and source height. So just a little bit more, right? Yeah, I think that fills it out. And source height, I'm going to try 150. No, too big. Okay, 140 is what I was going for. Oh, perfect. Okay. Extends a little bit, but that's all right. It's giving, okay, too much light. I'm going to reduce the intensity. I think it's too much light. And let the temperature be this because it's, the sunlight that's entering. So this is natural daylight. So I'm going to leave it at that. Barn door length, I'm going to make it 0. So I have a nice spread. And yeah, I think that looks good. Ooh, almost everything is done. Let's pull in a TV. There's no TV here. A wall mounted TV is what we're looking for, right? Because, okay, this works. Oh, that's really too small. Let me try scaling it up. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I think that looks all right. You could go ahead and, get finer controls over the TV and all that. I'm not going to do that. So we could place a few objects here. I'm just going to see, maybe I'll place a lamp or something. You could place really anything else. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. This wall still looks plain, so what I'm going to do is, okay. Yeah. So let's just look around the room, right? So it looks rather realistic and we're almost done. I'm just going to pull in wall panels here, I think. They're in decor, just to pretty it up a little bit. You can choose to not do it. That's just the aesthetic I'm going for. Sudhanva, can you ask Rohan to monitor the chats? I'm not able to. Yeah. Whoa, that's really big. Let's just scale it down. Yeah, guys. So I think we have about 6 minutes. I have about 10 minutes of uh, demo left. Since we started the meeting a little bit later, we don't will not have any time for Q&A, or we might. I mean, if you guys are willing, I'm more than willing. One. Oh, okay, there we go. Vishwant, can you give me 10 more minutes?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, we can.
Okay, thank you. I think that looks good. Okay. It has a pinkish tint, so maybe we'll reset albedo. Never mind. First, let's
First
just.
material, then copy.
Okay, so these have different materials. Okay, yeah, this looks good. I didn't like that pink tint.
Big data selection.
Something happened there. We have to reduce the specularity. I'm going to go back and change the scaling. Sorry. Okay, I don't think I can evenly space it out, right? So I'm just going to copy all of these things. No, wait, I can copy all of these things. Hold shift, click all three, then click all,
Right click.
click. Oh,
Right click on the gizmo to duplicate. Select all three first.
okay, 1 minute. Okay,
Right click on the gizmo.
yes, there we go. So I don't think I can press 2 in there. So I'm just going to take 1 and scale it to fill it out. Maybe 0.18. Okay. Still has that. Okay. I'm just going to reset albedo so it looks white. Okay. Yeah, there we go. See, this one looks much better. change it. Oh, that did the trick. I could have done this before duplicating, so I only had to do it once, but now that I've arranged it all, I'm just committed to my mistake. Yes. Okay. Full is shaping up. Maybe I'll pull in a lamp or something, right? Make it look a little more. Objects, lamps. Yeah, I like this one. It's turned around. The lintel level, right? I'm just going to, okay, I think that looks good. So I'm clicking Alt. Oh. I don't think I'm clicking on the right gizmo. Let me see. Why is this happening? Never mind. Okay. I'm going to pull my sofa to the center a little bit. Okay.
I wanted to see the export. Exporter. Are we showing exporter today?
Yeah, we're showing the exporter. So this is just like a basic demo, right? So over the next 3 days, you're going to see a lot more features, but I'll show you a simple exporter. So let's put a point light in this. Oh, wow, that's too much glare. So I'm going to go to render settings, post process, reduce the bloom intensity. Okay, there, so much more workable. Maybe I will reduce the intensity also because this is still too much light for me to work with. Okay, one is good. Let's go underneath so we can place it properly. Okay, I need to go underneath, otherwise I can't. It is still too much. So I'm going to play with the source radius and all that to, ooh, too much, I think.
You need to speak much louder.
Speak much louder? Okay, I'm sorry. Again, because this is an interior light, we're going to keep it at 4000 Kelvin. So, you know, it has that warm glow. Yeah, very nice. See? Just going to copy and paste it over here. Okay. Let's pull in a clock or something. So I'll show you how to import. So I think this is,
Clock is very slow.
yeah. So I think it's very small and that's why I can't see it. So I'm going to, still can't see it still. Ah, there we go. Able to see it. I think about right. I don't want to hold you guys up for too long. Oh, these don't have material. So I'm just going to make it a little goldish. So I'm going to go click here, click on material from bake. Oh, that's not selected. I would have changed it for something else altogether. Right? So default. And since I want to make it golden, I'm going to crank up the metallicness. Okay, but it is white metallic now, right? So you need to give it like a gold color. Let's go to albedo, colon, maybe too much red, fiery gold. Yeah, I think I'm happy with it, the color. So let's reduce the roughness.
Much faster. You need to, do 10 minutes.
Reduce the roughness, 0.06. There we go. See, it looks very nice now. Pull in some sort of marble maybe. Ooh, that is too much. So let us scale it, no matter. Going to leave it at that. Okay, I think we're looking good here. This might be a little too much intensity, so I'm just going to go and reduce it. Maybe I'll make it 2. Okay, I think we're good here. We can start showing exporters. We started it very late, so okay. Yeah. So let me just save it. I don't think saved it yet. I'll say NASA. I'll dedicate it to you guys. NASA workshop. Okay. So the star needs to go. We can switch off the light helpers now. Maybe I'll just place a carpet and then we're done. Okay. You can place a table, a carpet, but I think you guys get the idea. So I'm not going to do too much of it. This isn't really an interior design course, but I think 0.1 or something. Right? 0.01. That's good enough. And I press G, so it needs to snap to the ground. Good. Wow, it's really pouring here. Slide it under the sofa. Maybe we need to pull up our sofa a little bit. And I'll give it a fabric material. I'll just keep it very simple. Maybe not that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's a little too brown, so I'll desaturate it. Guys, and you can, give me feedback, tell me how you want tomorrow's workshop to be different or what you liked and did not like, and I will make those changes and we can, you know, conduct the workshop to your liking. I think the carpet looks fine. I'm not going to make too many changes. Tables, I'm just going to pull what? Okay, this looks nice. I'm done. I promise. Just one last little object on the table. It looks so empty. That's the thing, rendering, it's about giving different sort of texture. So if you have a cloth texture here, which looks really matte, just complement it with a shiny texture. So that adds to photorealism. So when there's glass there, when you leave empty planes like that with no shadows on them, they start to look really plain and fake. So you just add a little object over there to create some sort of shadows, and you can play with textures. If you can see here, it's a reflective material, and I have placed something really rough to, so when you place complementing stuff like that, it starts to look very realistic. You can place more pillows, but I'm not going to do it now. Yeah. So we can start with the exporter. I'm going to hit save again. You see the little star here, it's saving. Okay, we are done. We can move on to exporter. I'm just going to,
Continue the exporter tomorrow.
huh?
We can continue session of the exporter.
Okay, so Rohan says we can continue with the exporter session tomorrow also, but I just want to do a quick WebVR exporter so you guys can see it on, the link. Yeah, so I'm just going to pull in Prithvi there to do the exporter. Say hello to Prithvi. He's a master designer.
Hello guys. So I'll just quickly show you the exporter. So before exporting, what I like to do is I'll just quickly change the DLSS settings back to ultra quality. And I'll get back to exporter. I have selected photo here. I'll add a photo here. And you can see we have a bunch of settings here. So basically I'll come to camera first. I'll correct my tilt correction for my camera. And I'm going to save it. So whatever changes I'm going to make here in these settings, I have to capture it and save it in my photo. And then you can add a bunch of LUTs, which is lookup tables, and you can also set its intensity. Maybe I'll just change it to 4. And as I said, I need to capture it for my thing to update.
Let's just show WebVR.
Yeah,
This WebVR.
all right. Just quickly, I'm going to change my ambient occlusion so I have more light occluded by my objects here. You can show them both. It's not going to.
Okay.
So for photo, I'm going to hit export, and I'm going to select my file path where I want to export my photo.
Maybe a little louder.
I'm just going to upload it here, render. And I can select how much samples I want. So basically increasing samples will take a much more render time, but it will clear out all the noises from your image. So basically 32 samples is much more, I guess, more than enough for this scene. And I wanted to export it as in a JPEG format. We have a bunch of other formats as well, but I'll just export it in a JPEG format.
Guys, maybe we can start the Q&A session, because while we are waiting for it to export, we can sort of answer all of your questions. So let me pull in Rohan also for this.
So as you can see, it has started exporting, and our samples, it's been sampling our image for 32 samples. And I can quickly show you the preview, how it basically looks. So that's the photo we just exported, and voila. You can see we have a rendered image. And what I'm going to do next is, I'm just going to quickly add in a WebVR walkthrough. Just a bunch of hotspots here to show how our WebVR looks. I'm going to hit export. It's the same feature. So as you can see, I've already signed in Spaces, and this is my project name, how it's going to be there on Renderpub Spaces. For this, I'm just going to give 16 samples because I wanted to render this out pretty quickly. And I'll just hit export and let the Renderpub Studio package take care of the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, we'll do this.
Yes, you can take it from there. You can just
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll just hand it over to our CEO, so that she can just.
No one's ever called me that until now, by the way. Yeah, so let me just pull in Rohan, and you guys can start shooting your questions. So system minimum requirements. Okay, I think that we've uploaded on the no, Rohan, can you come here so we can just answer the questions while we wait for it to export. Come.
Hello guys. So the application will be available by the end of day, like we said, and the minimum system requirements will also be part of that download. So in the download page, you will have a document that will spell out what the minimum requirements are. If you guys have any other questions at all, just drop it in the chat here, and we are happy to answer, guys. Is Divyansh on the call?
No, Divyansh said he's not here. So Vishwant.
Vishwant, if there are any more questions, then please let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's exported already. As you can see, this is the link. I'm just going to open it. Let me show you clicking. Hey, again. Slowing it up. There we go. See?
That space that we just designed, that's on the web. It's shareable as a link. It's embeddable like a YouTube video on any web platform. You could just very easily send that across to your client, and they'll be able to view that on their mobile devices, walk around it, and so on.
So so the download link, I think it's in the mail already. We'll just be uploading our software in maybe an hour or so. You'll have access to it. So yeah, you can always email us your questions if you don't have any right now. We will be happy to answer it. And please do show us your love, because we're a small team, and we're trying to do something good here, and your inputs and your support is what will help us grow. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know what you want us to post a tutorial of, and we'd be happy to do it. And anything even in the arena, right? So it doesn't have to be just about our software. We'll be happy to help you out in any way we can. um, Tomorrow's topic, so we'll be showing you an external scene. And if you're wondering, that's what's Metaverse about it. This 3D model, you can mint it as an NFT, and you can connect up these spaces. So it's a network of 3D spaces, which is what the Metaverse is. We'll get to it, but this workshop is not, it's not the scope of this workshop. So we'll be doing an exterior scene tomorrow. And we'll be showing a lot of other features like mask placement and a water material and terrain editing, HDRIs, and several other features like that.
All right, then.
Yeah.
I guess we are good to close out for today. Sorry, we've gone 20 minutes over the scheduled time, but that's all right, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Isha. Happy
Thank you,
to be
Isha.
of help. And if you think I should go at a faster, slower pace, anything at all, please just do let me know. Okay.
So the minimum system requirements are going to be an RTX card if you want a rate-raised effects. Rate-raised effects are what are going to give you these really good-looking visuals. But if you don't have an RTX card, the software still works, but the visual quality that you can expect will have to be much lower because non-rate raised visuals aren't as good looking. The software as such will work, however, yes. Amazing. Sudeshwar's got a GTX card, all right. It'll work on a 1650, but like I said, no rate raising effects, but you can definitely try out the application, yeah.
All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. So see you all tomorrow. Yeah, so we'll email you all the links. So, and this recording you can also find it on YouTube. I think Vishwant will share it. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, Vishwant, for organizing this.
Thank you.
And it was wonderful
Thank you
to
guys
be
for
here.
joining. We'll be closing now.
Oh, also, and if if you haven't received an email from us, check your promotions tab, because for some reason, it's sending our email to that category. So check in promotions. It will be from info@renderpub.com. All right then. Thank you, Jyoti. Glad you were here. Yeah, thank you, all of you.
Thank you,
See you
madam.
guys.
See you guys.